cherry stone. Yeah!
Hello everyone, can you hear us okay? We're just going to do an audio test quickly before we go live.
Do we get to speak? Should we just
say hey?
say hey guys?
You've got Katie, Jay and Adam here at the moment.
Hey.
Oh, hello! How does the
voice level is fine, music is low, they're saying?
music is like, okay, we can up that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let us know. We're going to do it very, very slight little edits. Greetings, where is Commander Puppy? You might see him in a bit. He's not going to be playable today, but we're excited to show you. I think we're going to talk about points, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool things to show off. It's been a while. We haven't streamed this year, and we're already halfway through the year. It's been a very busy year for us, so...
Okay, let's go over to the game then.
Yeah. Are we officially
Oh god, you're
making
going
this
to see our
happen?
faces. Hello!
Don't want to cover Adam, who's like just behind me.
Hey, and we've also are joined by Yurik, the office dog.
Got a sweet dog cam.
Sweet dog. We thought we'd bring him along for the journey.
Yeah.
Teach him a bit of Wargroove.
He's one of the guys.
Hello. Okay, so we're going to be playing it's the same build for E3 that's going to be playable next week?
So in case you haven't been following, we're actually playable on the show floor at E3 with Idea Xbox, and yeah, it's cool. It's super weird, I can hear myself through your headphones. This is eerie like echo of myself. Cool, yeah, so let's have a look. So demo, we're going to do 1v1 on account of the two of us being here. So this is our cool character selection screen. Mercier's portrait's been updated actually since the last time we streamed. And since then we've actually we've revealed all our commanders, so that's real exciting. It's got Messiah. So Messiah's ability is Heal Aura. She kind of raises her sword up. Does kind of like an AoE heal. So she's kind of like a good kind of all-rounder support unit. She's quite like a getting to grips with the game character, which is nice. Kind of fitting as her position as like the protagonist. Oh yeah, and also feel free to ask questions in the chat. We're reading it. Adam can poke things out. There he is. Got Emmerich. Emmerich's kind of like the royal mage of Cherrystone. So his groove is he places down one of his like Cherrystone crystals, and it kind of casts like an aura around it, that like buffs everyone's defense in that area. So you can kind of like create like a defensive zone to protect your units. And it's real interesting. Caesar's
the best boy.
Everyone's been freaking out over Caesar, which is entirely what we were hoping for. He's so majestic and inspiring that he can actually cause spent units around him to like be reinvigorated, and then they get their turn back. So with like some good tactical positioning, you can kind of like recharge your army and then just like send them back against your enemy, which is a nice like stalemate breaker to kind of get the use of units around him back.
He is quite inspiring.
He is very inspiring, yeah, with the armor, the headdress there. Interestingly enough, I think it's fair to say that we haven't been talking too much about the grooves in the past, because whilst we've kind of talked about the characterizations, I think the grooves are very gameplay balanced, and it's one of these things where, you know, these things can change over time, and like we've been like experimenting a lot with what works right and what fits the characters and stuff. So there's been a lot of iteration, which I think is why previously we haven't talked too much about them. But let's see what else we've got to show.
We have a lot of opinions on who you should play.
Who does everyone want us to play as?
People are mostly asking for Koji.
Koji?
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think we'd like to show some more Heavens on today as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the previous builds that we've shown off on stream have had Cherrystone and Felheim. So I don't know if we've shown off. I think we've shown Florin in some gameplay footage that's been online, and some demos at events, and I don't think we've really shown off Heavensong at all, so that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Valda, so I think we've streamed Valda before. He raises like the dead, so he can create a basic soldier unit over time. He's quite interesting to play because often you get this reluctance to push too far and like kind of like extend your commander out too far. So often if there's like stalemates where another commander has quite an offensive ability that needs to be timed right, but they're against Valda, he can just sit there and like build up his meter and just keep like churning out soldiers. So he kind of puts the pressure on over time and kind of forces people to act, otherwise he gets like the upper hand.
Which I think is quite interesting, because a lot of people, like, I often find when I'm playing games like Fire Emblem and stuff, I play pretty defensive. So I think it would be good for, like, you know, if I'm playing against Valda, I know that I've kind of got to push forward a bit more than I would have normally if I was playing.
He kind of has that evil overlord, like he holds back and sends his minions out, which is quite fitting. So Ragnar's ability is shield jump. So she leaps in the air and then lands and does splash damage where she lands.
That's so cool.
This is maybe one of the most powerful abilities we have right now, and we're still trying to figure out if it's too powerful as is right now or needs some sort of nerf.
Because she can move quite a big distance as well.
Yeah, you can move and then do it to get an extra move. So you can like send her right across the map, and you can play extremely aggressively, and you just like instant kill like several units at once. But then also she kind of has the trade-off where you throw her into enemy lines to attack to be the most effective, but then she's like surrounded potentially, so you kind of have to back her up a bit, otherwise.
That's what I found a bit when I was testing out her groove as well. You can be a bit overzealous with where you throw her
Which
in.
kind of, again, it fits. I think we've done like a lot of iteration in trying to get these the personality of these grooves to fit the characters.
People are saying Koji versus Ragnar.
Oh, that'd be fun. Let's go through all of them, I think, and then we can see what people think. Sigrid, best girl. So obviously she's a vampire. She's got bat ears. She drains all her health from an enemy unit and adds it to her own health. So she can like destroy enemy ranks, heal herself. It makes pretty much sense, as you'd expect, I suppose. Yeah.
Is Sigrid your favorite, Joe?
I have a lot of favorites. I don't know. I like a lot of the different characters in a lot of different ways.
Are you allowed favorites? That's what
I know we're quite close to this.
Are you not allowed to say what your favorites are? What about favorite faction?
Yeah. What's your favorite?
My favorite faction is Heavensong.
I do love their design so much.
Hopefully we can show them off. I'm sure we will. Greenfinger, you might have seen him in some of the footage earlier this year. It's online.
And he was playable at EGX Res, wasn't he?
Yes.
Any of you guys went to that?
So he's quite defensive. He summons a wall of these 5 vine units that get placed on the map in a line in the direction he's facing. And because they're essentially allied units that can't do anything, you can move through those, but then your enemy can't. You have to like defeat those to get through. So you can kind of like create an impasse. The enemy have to like spend turns to destroy. And you can do some really interesting things, especially on certain maps where there's like choke points. If you're getting overwhelmed, or if you want to hold off some ranged units behind a wall, you can send in trebuchets, ballista, and archers like behind this wall, place it down, and then your opponents are suddenly unable to attack you, and you can just like wail on them essentially. So he's fun. Nuru's from Starbound, which is the other game that we've developed. She's cameoing here. So she cheats because she's from a different game and can just teleport in another unit, and she essentially she opens up the center of the shop menu, and she can play this like as if you're like at a barracks, but you can do it remotely. So any unit you have access to on the map so far. So if you've captured a tower, you have access to all the air units, and you can just like place one of those in the middle of the map, and it leads to some really interesting results. I think I won a playtest recently by using her to place a warship in like a pool in the center of the map that otherwise would take a long time to kind of go right way around. No, it was fun. We got Sedge.
The Vicious Assassin.
Vicious Assassin.
Sadistic Rush. I hadn't seen the name for that yet.
It's very extreme, isn't it? Sedge, he's kind of like creepy, like a rogue guy. Yeah, he has a very unique groove actually. So he does 35% damage, and if he kills the unit with that, then he doesn't lose his turn. So it's a very like specific use scenario. Say you're in like a big skirmish, and Sedge is in there, and then a bunch of enemy soldiers are there, and they're on lower health because you've been weakening them down. But there's a lot of individual units to knock off, and you haven't got enough kind of manpower to get through them. You can just send in Sedge, and you can kill like 6 people in one turn if they're low enough health, and you can then move out as well. So it's very like, if the circumstance is right, then suddenly he can like shift things around and then completely like tip the scales.
Yeah.
You got Tenri. She's the Empress of Heavensong. So she kind of like shapes the winds. She can like create like tornadoes and hurricanes. That's how she attacks with her fans. So she creates a tornado that appears under a unit and then moves it somewhere else, which sounds pretty simple. But then when you realize that you can do it to enemies as well, and you can like send people across terrain they can't normally cross, and you can imagine that gets pretty interesting. Yeah. If someone's made like the whole way around to go like to come and meet you with a particularly powerful unit, you can just send it away, or just like trap a unit somewhere it can't really get out of very easily. That's very fun. Ryota has a dash right now, so he's kind of like the general of like the Heavensong armies. He's like a warrior. You can't see his portrait, but he's got kind of prosthetic blade legs that he attacks with. So he's like really fast. He's got like a dash attack where he kind of dashes through enemies and does like lots of damage to them. Then we've got Koji. So Koji is like that's Tenri's son. He's the youngest commander, but to help fight, he's built a giant puppet mech that he rides on the back of and controls using string. So he's kind of like a genius inventor. So he places these bombs that fly, and so he can place 2 of these, and then they can send in and explode and do like splash damage where they land. And
These are our little wind-up sparrows, aren't they?
Yeah, they're little wind-up sparrows. They're very cool. It's actually really powerful.
Cool.
So yeah. So for context, we recently showed off naval units on a blog, kind of touched on the general strategy of how they work, the set of units we have, and we can show that off in the stream.
That'd be nice.
There's a little bit of, it's work in progress stuff, so there's some placeholder art here and there, as always. If you've seen some of our earlier streams, you would have seen some of the extreme placeholder art that we had. Early on, we had borderline clip art level vehicles, which was very fun. I'm sure some people in the chat will remember that. So yeah, we can show off a map that has, this may be the first time we've shown a map that has ground, air, and naval units. and that'll be really fun.
We can
'cause-
teach Yurik how to play,
Yeah.
and potentially me learn at the same time.
Okay, this is an exhibition map, so hopefully no one takes this too seriously as a representation of the meta.
Yeah, I think we're more going to be playing to show off the units necessarily than have a...
Show off how the strategy might play out if we were to be taking it too seriously, but we're not, and we're going to have a fun time.
I'm sure we can have a super serious match closer to the launch, maybe with Rodrigo, would be quite funny.
Oh yeah, grudge match.
Someone asked if they could see some palette swap commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So we can show off. So I guess the big question is, which two commanders should we go for? I think we should go for Koji and Greenfinger, because then we can show off two different factions. We've shown off a lot of Cherrystone and Falheim respectively.
Yeah,
So I think that'll be fun. Now wait 30 seconds for the chat to catch up and tell them what they think.
I'll let you know if they are pleased with your decision.
Okay, should we play a one, or who do you want to go for?
I'll go Greenfinger, and if you want to go Koji. I mean,
You can go first.
Yurik's
So.
going
Of course.
because he's definitely right there, paying very close attention.
I suggest we stick to the default colours, but we can show off some of the other colours.
Yeah.
So every unit has kind of like the faction colour is the part of the sprite that changes. So we get cool blue, got red. I quite like him in orange.
I
It's kind
like
of
the
like
orange one too.
autumnal.
The grey one's quite nice.
Black, yeah. Hot pink, for extra visibility. Yeah, I like the yellow as well. So should we go for green?
Yes.
Neato. Let's say Koji.
This will be awesome!
Palettes.
It's his voice clip came in.
Oh yeah, nice.
This is pretty new to see, isn't it?
Yeah, we have voice acting for all the commanders, and it's super rad and gives them a lot of personality. We haven't revealed the voice cast yet, and we will do it at a later date. People are asking about it in the chat. But yeah, that's lots of cool stuff on that front. We probably shouldn't go hot pink. Warrior puppet. It's not that intimidating.
I think you should
Stealth
go gold.
option. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the classic colours.
Yeah.
Just for consistency. If that sounds
Someone
good.
said always go hot pink.
I mean, that's a fair thing to say. I think I will be, oh my god, hot pink Caesar army with doggos.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
I'm excited already. I'm excited at the prospect of this being the case.
Someone asked if Caesar has a voice actor.
Caesar's voice actor is probably going to be Yorick, who is on the stream, who was streaming with us there.
He's being very quiet and
Yeah.
a good boy at the moment.
He's
though.
being very good.
Yeah.
He's not showing off his vocal talents, but we can assure you.
He's not focusing very well though, I'd say.
He's looking at the game screen.
He's looking up at us. It's definitely live footage and not a looping clip.
You should like wait down at him.
Okay, so have you kind of talked through all the different like barracks and the...
Okay, yeah.
so we've got the
some
port
very-
here, haven't we?
Yeah, some very placeholder port there. So yeah, we've got. Oh, also there's some new tiles to show off as well here. So this is the port, and it will absolutely not look like this in the final game with the miraculous Florin running on water, but that's fine. So that gives you. That's essentially the recruitment building for anything naval related.
There's also gates. That
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
down here we have interior tiles and gates. So you can actually use the interior tiles alongside walls to make kind of like a internal kind of fortress structures that units can walk through, but the vehicles won't be able to get through, essentially because you can't drive a trebuchet in through a front door. And there's also these gates that are in front of them, and those are a structure that don't give you any revenue, but they essentially block opponents from getting through. So you have to break down your opponent's gates in order to pass through those.
Is that also N10 as well?
Yeah, we have one N10 now. Well, there's some quality of life stuff we're slowly going through and adding as we get closer and closer to completion.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look at this map. So this is a new map. So it's got towers here. We've got some.
I love it when the people in the chat are saying, "It's a loop! It's a loop!" What are you
Is
talking
it what you're
about?
talking about? No, it's just very clean. It's very clean motion.
He's
he
really
makes.
focused.
Yeah. These are some sea villages. Those can only be caught with aquanauts, which are our kind of like our amphibious foot soldier units. I'm sure you'll be able to see those in a moment. soldiers. How are we on the audio levels, by the way?
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe just turn the game audio up very
So
slightly.
just
Because people want to hear Koji's new track.
How about this?
Just maybe halfway then.
This?
Yeah.
That
Let us
sounds,
know what you think.
yeah. It's a.
It'll probably update
I
in
think that's a good level, but I'll let you know if people are unhappy.
Oh, I think
We don't want anyone
oh.
unhappy.
We might have lost Game Pass support somehow using mouse right now. I'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take that tower up there. Maybe push forward.
Rogue Dark Jedi says I'm buying 50 copies.
Hopefully, that sounds like a good number.
I think maybe 75 would potentially be the ultimate number.
At least 50 guaranteed sales. Yes.
At least 50. Have we shown some of these units off?
I think we did.
Not
Not all of them. I don't
them.
think. Is there any new for people? I'm not sure.
Okay, so we got soldiers, we got the
Shiva.
dogs for. Yeah. Technically, it's Nikita. I should update their name since Shiva is a smaller dog, and
That's
Nikita
true.
is more size applicable, I think, here. Spearman. You got your very nice wagon with your nice horses. You might have noticed a running theme in
I
Heaven
like
Song
the
is that these guys all have kind of animal masks depending on them. Like within the Heaven Song army, it kind of determines their rank and role. So they just wear little bear masks. They also don't have any magic powers. They don't use any fantasy creatures. They just have technology. So instead of casting lightning spells, these guys have like Tesla rods and battery packs on their backs. The archers here. The samurais are the knights. Ballista. You see, it's a little bit more technologically advanced. These guys kind of like use a lot of like clockwork and pistons and things. Trebuchet. The giant for these guys is the guy riding on like a massive kind of like automated like mech walker.
So
Samurai
cool.
warrior. Yeah, so that's fun. I think for now I'll just get myself some dogs, won't I?
Copycat.
Okay, we're back to using the controller.
Cool.
Here we go.
Alright. You up here, boy.
This place will do nicely.
Oh, I just saw the flag come down.
Yeah, that's
that
new.
also new?
That's new, yeah.
This is funny because I haven't played this latest build, so every time something new comes, I'm like, exciting. Trying to remember which button it is to see how. There we go, their range. There we go. Trying to keyboard for a while.
Phonetic Heroes in the chat.
Yeah, Pete is our musician and he has done an excellent job on the soundtrack. And I'm excited that we get to show some of the new tracks off actually, so that's cool. Okay, oh this is exciting.
Okay, so here we have, you can talk through the canoe and then we've got the Aquanaut here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
not-
called a diver floor
it's
right now.
diver floor.
A lot of these names might
Yeah.
change. A lot of them are very like placeholder. So the canoe is essentially your wagon but on water. It can transport units around. Pretty straightforward. So the Aquanaut, the diver floor in here. These guys are quite a unique unit. They can walk on land, capture things like a soldier. They're not that fast on land, but they move faster in the water. And then they're the only unit that can capture structures at sea, which means they're pretty invaluable and have quite a multi-purpose. They also attack at a range as well. So they can move and attack in a range and capture things at sea. So these guys are like kind of super integral to like kind of the sea game. Oh yeah, also this background will not be a city, will not be a city. I forgot about that.
He looks like he's kind of like swimming in a puddle, which I
It looks
quite
like he's like sinking in cement. It's quite sad.
Oh no! That's far more dramatic.
Yeah, so the turtles, they're kind of like an anti-naval unit. So these guys,
Maybe, no.
yeah, these guys kind of destroy turtles and ships, even though they're cheaper than the other two ship options. So when you're kind of like decimating your opponents with a warship, you can send a turtle in to kind of counter that. And then also if your opponent's going too far, like spreading too far with their aquanauts and capturing too much, you can send the turtles in to kind of clear things up. But the turtles themselves are countered by the harpoon ship, which is kind of like a defensive. It does a lot of damage against air units as well as the turtle. It protects your warship mainly. Warships are really powerful, have a huge range, can move and attack in the same turn, but they're vulnerable to air units because they can't attack back. So these harpoon ships kind of covered bases there. And the warship, obviously, is our final one.
These are also obviously very placeholder text. I mean, it's a great description.
Oh, missing! Oh, that's great.
Lots of people are saying best description ever, which I agree. I like the mystery of what
Will
do?
this text say when the game is complete? Who knows? Yeah, these are like one of the big like end game units. They travel really fast. They can attack anything on land and do a lot of damage. You can see they're only vulnerable to turtles and trebuchets. Trebuchets might not even be able to get them depending on where they're placed. Yeah, these guys are kind of the core of the naval gameplay. So there's a lot of kind of like rock paper scissors depending on what kind of units you have, what kind of units your opponent's sending after you. So yeah, they're a lot of fun.
I'm gonna go with diver.
That makes sense because there was a lot of sea property to take over.
Someone asked what kind of game this is. This looks like some kind of strategy game.
Some kind of dating sim.
It's definitely a dating sim.
Yeah, this is like I'm assuming in good faith normally.
Tactics.
Yeah, it's totally tactic. Normally, I assume people will know, but it's fair to say that a lot of people will be jumping in for the first time and seeing this. Yeah, this is a turn-based tactical game. There's no RPG progression where you level up stats or anything. Every unit across the game is does the same thing every time. So it's kind of like a pure tactical level, and it's all about strategizing and positioning and making the right call. And yeah, that's
Lots of high-level strategic moves.
Which
Katie is definitely going to be doing.
What are you trying to say, Adam? I think it is as well. I would say one of those things that isn't as easy to focus on while you're answering questions in streaming. So
it's
do
fine.
forgive us if we're
It's
not.
a low pressure game.
Hey, I can't talk. I'm hiding over here in the corner.
I expect like high strategy input from you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm gonna like ask the chat for strategic advice and pass it on to you.
The meta is in constant flux because the game doesn't exist. So you know, who can really say? Speaking of things being in flux or placeholder, Koji right now will not fit in this building.
I hope I can fit.
I'm telling you right now, yeah.
Did he just say his line was, "I hope I can fit"?
Yeah, he can't fit. We have a solution for that. That does not exist right now.
The answer was no. No, Koji, you can't. Poor sweet boy.
Poor sweet, sweet summer child. Okay, so I'm moving up here. I want to get myself an Aquanaut. I should probably show these guys off.
Oh, so someone was just asking about what the objective is, which I realize we haven't
that is
actually
good. We have
said.
not explained the objective. Okay.
Very good question.
Units go into battle with each other and do damage. The more unit is weakened, the less damage it can deal. Every unit has like advantages, disadvantages, and strengths and weaknesses. We have a commander on the field, which is Cody for me and Greenfinger for Katie, as well as down here these HQs. If you destroy the enemy HQ, you win, and if you defeat the enemy commander, you win. So there's 2 win-lose conditions. Your commander is also a really powerful unit, so you want to be using them to fight. So there's a level of how aggressive can I afford to be with my commander, send them in, do some damage. If you overextend, you might get weakened and might put yourself in a vulnerable position. So it's a game that kind of rewards aggression and taking risks, which is good and fun. Here are the naval units for the Heavenstorm faction. The canoe,
Very
cute. Yeah, these guys, Aquanauts, all have these big, because I told you these fantasy creatures, they just have technology. So they've got old-timey diving helmets.
Did you name that Aquanaut Kappa?
I did, because a kappa is a mythological creature, like a sea creature, so it makes complete sense. They don't even have giant turtles, they just have these like clockwork wooden turtles they've made, and they ride. Harpoon ship and warship again. So I'm going to go for the kappa. Yeah, this guy doesn't have animation, that's fun. It's just a still static sprite.
He's pretty stealthy, that's what he's
It's
doing.
fine. As long as we acknowledge it and embrace it, it's all fine. And also capturing these buildings, in case anyone isn't aware, gives you money every turn. So every turn you're pulling in revenue and you can spend that on units. So a lot of the game revolves around make as much money as possible and in the game.
And there's different areas of terrain where you can kind of place units on which have different like defense levels as well.
Yeah,
So you can kind of like strategically.
You can see it down here in the corner actually.
Yeah.
I'm pointing to the screen, they can't see it.
You can also use the buildings to reinforce health of units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting in forests gives you a lot of defense. Sitting in mountains gives you a lot of defense, but it's really slow to walk through those. I'm gonna end my turn.
Game audio could be boosted just a little bit.
A little
Should we
bit?
go for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which might mean I've got to use.
You're not gonna kill that thing? Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. It's up here.
Some great descriptions there.
Yes, I'm just gonna.
So, do we want to say what platforms this game is out on? Because I'm getting a lot of the same questions. PC, Xbox, Switch, and...
This place will do
Yeah.
nicely.
So pretty much everything.
Yeah, all of them. We're not targeting Virtual Boy right now, but if there's more interest, we'll see what we can do.
Yes.
But don't hold your breath.
Those come out on SNES, no?
No.
No, okay. We cancelled that.
No, yeah.
Missing out on that Virtual Boy market.
The cartridges are too expensive to produce,
They
so
are, aren't they?
yeah.
Nightmare.
So you guys are getting into it now, right? You're now mortal enemies.
Yeah. This battle is kicking off. There's no fight. No fight has actually occurred yet.
I just want to make sure that you can't hit me.
That's a valid strategy.
I'm going to do that. Wait for you to
Hide
come
in
to
the
me.
woods.
Yeah.
Launch a sneak attack.
Okay.
So chat, who do you think is going to win?
I think it's quite clear who's going to win this. Maybe I'll send another boy up this way.
You
I can't do
rely on the
more time. Why not move? Oh no.
Someone just said, dog will win.
The dog will win. Yes. No virtual boy, no buy. I mean,
we get that a lot, you know. Every time we're tweeting, we're just
Yeah.
like, people are just like, when's the Virtual Boy release?
someone's asking a question about the size of maps, how big they can go.
We will probably have a limit. I don't think we've decided what the limit is going to be just yet. It makes sense for there to be a limit. Okay. I've got a plan. Nice dogs. Okay.
Cool. I should have been paying attention then to what you're doing rather than watching the chat. Dangerous. Okay,
It's
where
alright.
have you moved? Ah! Okay.
So what is your thinking?
What's my thinking right now?
Yeah.
Oh god. Not many thoughts are going on in this head. I'm gonna go for a dogfight.
Dogfight!
Great.
I feel so awful every time that there's any kind of dogfighting involved here.
We've talked a lot about maybe making it so dogs can't ever get killed and they just run away. I think that's valid. No one likes to see the dogs get hurt.
I could attack you, but you can probably reach me.
Everyone in the chat is quite upset about the dog on dog
Oh,
destruction.
I'm so sorry.
Even like the weird,
It
like,
was, somebody had to be
swampy
evil.
frog dogs.
Somebody had to do it. Dog can go so far. I'm just gonna move you here. See, this is where you're like, you shouldn't play defensive, and that's totally how I play.
Sorry. Nimble Noodlefish just said, I just want to say that I don't care if the dogs die.
Damn, that's cold.
Right. You guys can
So
tell them off
shocking.
on camera.
We should all care about dogs.
Someone said at least make the sound effect less sad.
It is quite heartbreaking. So So, which dog did we use to make that sound effect of the crying?
From the dog factory, you mean?
We're not allowed to say.
No.
We're not allowed to.
NDA. The D in NDA stands for dogs.
Yes. No dogs allowed.
I don't know why you moved my last guy. Or girl. I think I'd make you sense to delay the decision.
Did you guys talk about the crits each unit as well?
That's a good point. Every unit has like a passive condition where if the condition is fulfilled, they do extra damage. For example, so the soldiers, if they're adjacent to your commander, they do extra damage. Dogs, if it says when in pack, it's not very descriptive, but basically what that means is if you have dogs surrounding your opponent, then they do extra damage, so you can kind of swarm dogs in, which kind of fits nicely. What else we got?
Someone made a good point. They said in Civ 6 the dogs and horses run away instead of dying.
Yeah, I mean...
I didn't know that.
Shall I... Okay, I've got a plan. So I'm gonna... Ooh, no, I've got a better plan than that.
Did someone say they want to send a resume to the dog factory?
Send your applications to resume@dogfactory.com.
Okay, so your commander is just out of range of being able to attack Koji if Koji takes out this run for soldier.
Let's go, Tenko! Yeah!
This is unfair.
Owie!
Oh, he says owie. That's so cute.
Blaster says, that face when you play to showcase naval units, but it doesn't make sense on this map.
The naval units get incredibly valuable, so I think people will be surprised by...
Yeah.
Ooh, I might be able to... Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Oh.
That was... Yeah.
Vicious dog
close.
attack.
Brutal.
The dog should be able to swim. They could doggy paddle across the map. Make it happen,
Oh,
Jay.
that's very cute. Let's just reanimate every single dog to have a second set of animations where they're all paddling. I like how when this guy moves, it just disappears because the sprites are incomplete. That's fine.
Someone is asking, can naval units move in rivers?
The Aquanauts can. Regular soldiers can also move in rivers. They get slowed down. Ships cannot swim up rivers, as far as I'm aware.
And yeah, the Kappas haven't got animations right now, but they obviously...
On the map. I think they do in the battle screen, they will,
yeah.
I want that warship. I'm going to save it
Too
for
soon.
it.
Too soon.
In the meantime, get down there. It would make sense to get just another dog.
See, I just went for a unit where I could kind of attack you from afar because I'm scared of you.
Dogs are they are quite fragile, but they do a lot of damage in the first hit, so they're quite like, if you can get them in first, you can actually get quite a lot out of them.
Rick Nolan is asking about the modding functionality.
That's a good question. I think we have plans for it. I don't think we've confirmed anything because it's in flux right now. We have a lot of aspirations for it. I don't think we can really concretely say at this point what modding will entail or how extensive it will be.
You could definitely make your own map.
I mean, in terms of making a map, that's not even mods. The game comes with like a map
Yeah.
and campaign editor, so you can make entire maps and campaigns. In a previous stream, we showed the functionality of that in like an earlier state, but you can do some crazy extensive stuff with that and make entire game modes. If you follow the development team on Twitter, you'll see that Rodrigo, our programmer, made chess in Wargroove. So there's a chess groove map where you can only move one unit on your turn. It's very fun.
So when you have a unit that's really low health, and you know that if you attack with something, you're just going to get the relay damage that's going to kill it, what do you normally do with?
It depends. It depends on the power of the unit. So you can actually heal them. You can send that back to your next to the building that's closest to it, and then do a reinforce command, and that will heal it proportional
like
to
from
its
here?
cost. Yeah. So if you do that, you press reinforce, you can get your health back. And then
I
it's
see.
you've spent money, but it's still further out, so you've still got a unit that's been sent out, and it's like spent a few turns getting into the battle. So it's a valuable command to use.
I don't want to attack you. Well, I've got 100% health. I feel like I might go for it. It's only 13.
Yeah, and commanders do heal themselves over time passively.
There's no point doing sword versus sword, so.
Nimble in the fish asks if the tower passively heals each turn, and does it cost money?
All the buildings heal over time. So when you recruit them, or like you capture them, they start off low. But then the longer you like essentially hold it down, the harder it is to be retaken by the enemy.
But the only thing is, I can't get through that gate, can I? Unless I knock it
Unless you
down.
destroy it, yeah. Which could be a strategy worth employing.
I've got no money. Okay. Nah, that'll do. Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Cody's time to shine. Okay, this is new. This aura around Greenfinger signifies that he's got his groove, and I should keep that in mind. Koji's groove comparatively, you can see down here in the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a little meter above him that says 28. His groove takes a lot longer to charge because it is much more powerful. Whilst Greenfinger's is a bit more expendable and a bit less devastating, so you get the option to use it more, it balances out.
And is it, would you say, better for Greenfinger to use his groove when you're kind of in like a tight corridor anyway? To kind of block off the other side?
I don't feel confident enough in the game strategy off the top of my head to tell you. I think
because that's what I would normally go for when I've been playing it before. But
yeah, it's I'm just worried about that. So if I take this, I can destroy this and take it. You know what? I might.
Oh, I forget you can walk over there.
I can attack Greenfinger now. So if you do the first hit on me, then I'm at a disadvantage, but I want to take this at the same time. And I can't take this in the same turn I can attack Greenfinger. So now it gets into the whole like,
what do you go for?
what do I do? What's the big decisions to make?
Chat has some opinions on your commander placements.
I'm sure. In the meantime, I'm gonna delay the hard decisions. You might have noticed this these different tiles out here. So this is deep ocean, and boats move a lot quicker when they go through these tiles, these dark blue tiles. And these are reefs and naval units. It's essentially like a forest at the sea, so it gives you some defense. You can see in the bottom corner, but also it slows you down to swim through it. It's nearly within my grasp. I just need to hold down what I'm doing over here for now.
Battle stance activate!
It's devastating.
Now I can do that. That might be a poor move. I bet there's a lot of people telling me it's a bad move in the chat. Do I want to make something else? Maybe not.
Possible to boost voice a little bit? Someone was saying the voice is a little husky.
It's actually on max, so we can just kind of shout louder.
We can just talk. We can just mumble less.
I think it's just because it's a little bit far away from us.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Alright. Would you say Greenfinger is the kind of commander where it's beneficial to use his groove earlier on then? Because he recharges quite quick, right? So
It does recharge it quite quickly. It's also one that I don't think you get too much benefit out of by just placing it for the sake of placing it, because it doesn't do damage. It's essentially like a positional advantage kind of thing. Like right now, I don't think there'd be. I actually don't get too much out of it from doing it right now, like theoretically. I'm hasty to like come up with some tactics, and then someone 6 months down the line is going to tell me I'm completely incorrect. These streams exist forever.
I'm going to do my classic and just avoid selecting by just moving the aquanauts.
Chat says air units when.
That's the point we've ignored them so far. I think there's some placeholder air units for these two factions at the moment due to some renovations going on that front. We'll see.
Same for the same. I feel like if you're doing it, then that seems a good idea. But now my thing is like, do I attack your units or do I try and get my, is it Hamlet? My little town back?
Yeah.
What do you reckon, chat? What should I do?
They say air units. That's probably an unrelated desire. Oh, you've got an archer. I haven't even noticed that. Ooh. Okay.
Looks like you can get a full group.
Yeah. He's got it charged.
Oh, but you've only got a tiny bit.
I've got 1% health. If you hover over, it's literally 1%. It's pretty extreme.
Chat says use the roof a lot of the heavens commander input.
Oh, that's actually quite a good idea.
What, where I am?
Oh, I don't think you can, because there's some forest in front of you. I don't think you could do that this turn.
You can't. I was gonna say you can't move and groove.
You can move and groove, but your groove does not include a move.
Move and groove.
So I could move here and then.
If you do it, it demonstrates whereabouts it will be placed.
What if I press it?
Yeah. So you can do it in one spot there because there's the surrounding to the side. So it would place the vines down in the slots highlighted there.
Beware the groove. Moving and grooving. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah.
Nature's cry!
We'll moan about that bad decision later.
I mean, I can't get that soldier in there at all now because there's a huge amount of vines, and you've got an archer behind it to like fire over. So that's
that was all part of the plan. The really deep
completely
plan.
intentional.
Yeah.
We're all master strategists here, aren't we? Someone's asking if it's vertical or horizontal. It's a line of tiles in the direction you place in your facing. So you can, if you faced upwards, it would do a horizontal line.
Okay. Wait a second, this dog is on loop. We've been bamboozled.
Can you still take that village? That's Ring Finger.
Can I? What? Take it back?
I think you can.
You can take it back.
You
I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm gonna back off here now. See, I can't really do too much right now, so I may have to back off. That groove has helped me out actually. My groove's on 50%, so we'll.
Severost, is the wall vine always vertical, or could it be horizontal?
Yeah, I was just explaining. So if the tile you place it in, it places them all adjacent to that tile. So placing it in this tile places all the vines like here. So if Greenfinger had room to place it up, they could be placed along this way as well.
Right, because there was a forest there, I couldn't put it.
Oh, it wasn't a forest. It was there's a dog there, a small frog dog.
Frog dog.
So I'm gonna...
Eat patrol heard Yorick barking from the other room.
Ah.
Well, how can he be
try and get
barking?
him
Because
in.
he's on screen with us. I don't know how this. Okay, so let's have a look at the warship I'm going to buy right now. Hi. Here we come. Super balloons. Someone was asking how they fly. Well, here's the answer. So this is like the Harpy unit. These guys are kind of like air infantry units where they do a lot of damage from the air and can attack ground units. They get countered by archers who can attack air, and mages as well. Also witches, who are an anti-air air unit. It's almost, if you think almost like the turtle, where they or good at defeating everything else in that category.
Yeah, bring the boy in.
Is the
bring
dog
boy
coming
in.
onto the stream? But the dog is already on the stream. Oh my gosh.
Dogception! Dogception!
Hello.
Goodbye.
That was alarming.
Okay.
I feel like we just got raided by dogs.
Yeah. This is temporary
Dog
dragon,
raiders.
whilst there's some maintenance on the dragons. This is just a cherry stone dragon for now.
The propeller broom is awesome.
Yeah, these guys don't use magic. They just have cool technology. So these guys are good at taking down the dragons and the harpies, as well as the balloons. The chat's just got to the point where we were...
Also, Discord just said the absolute madman. That's something that you would say, Jay. Absolute madman.
Okay.
Oh, we lost.
I think so.
Controller.
Okay, I'm just going... Something's blinking. There we go.
Thank you.
I've done all I can here.
Oh, I think auto mod is blocking perfectly normal, reasonable questions. Okay.
Oh, I can deal with that.
See, I'm at a disadvantage where you can attack me, but I can't attack you back.
I like this. I feel bad for the dog. I don't. 16% isn't that great, though, is it?
Green finger can run in and attack me as well.
But then I'm kind of letting him to the mercy of you guys. I feel like Koji destroyed the whole thing and Greenfinger is 75%. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's currently belongs to me, but you would do 75% damage, so you would be able to destroy it in one hit with the commander there.
Oh, because it's not on full health anyway.
Yeah. I only just can't.
Forward! Huh?
That's how you break a door down.
I
Although
can't
you
go all
can't,
the way
not this
around.
turn, but
Damn it.
you have prevented me from next turn getting revenue from that.
Which is something.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, it's gone down slightly. Is
Who
it
would
because
you
I
say?
moved from the troops? Oh, bugs. If I'd have pressed it in the same position,
If
would
you
it have done
yeah,
it
if you
as
press the
range?
attack command rather than do like the auto select, Koji can't get through that wall right now, though, unfortunately.
It's okay. It's okay. He's all right.
See, archers are a good unit to like kind of like synergize with those vines.
I'm gonna send the dogs to maul you. I mean, it was definitely a strategy challenge. Sending my archer over the line. Perfectly intentional.
I guess chat was asking what we actually do at Chucklefish.
What we do?
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Jay. I draw and animate and design stuff on Wargroove. That's it. Next.
Yep. I'm Adam. I do a whole bunch of art and animation stuff on Wargroove and other things like that. Me and Jay both worked on Starbound. And Katie is our latest addition to the company.
With Karen.
Yeah.
New programmer. So, yeah, I do marketing and community things. So I'm normally lurking in the Discord quite a lot. Oh, you got your ship.
I did. I've been setting up for this whilst you've been purchasing dogs and archers. We'll see how this goes.
Megami says, "Yay, marketing!"
Yay!
Who is Chucklefish's best player?
Ooh, that's up for
That's,
debate,
that's
surely.
hotly debated, I'm sure.
No one wants to admit it.
Engaging the idle
What's
stance.
your item? That's why you're not streaming. You're holding back your cameras.
Yeah, I just didn't want to embarrass you guys in front of everyone.
Got a wall of soldiers. See, I'm really spreading myself thin with units. Yeah. Come on, boys. Okay.
The commanders are so tough.
The weaker units don't do too much against them. You can really catch them out when it comes to like using like a knight or
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say,
giant.
I normally like using the is it paladins for one.
Yeah, they're the knights for the cherry stone.
And samurai.
Yeah, so good. These guys are good counters against the commanders. Trebuchets as well, really powerful. Might save it for that next. Not to broadcast my strategy, but
Oh, I mean, I've been doing that the whole time. I've been asking the enemy for advice. Oh, my groove is back already. Cool.
you got your groove back already, and you haven't even
I have got
used
my
up
groove
the old.
back. Can we
See,
move and groove?
See, at first I was worried that his groove is too weak, but now it seems like he's got like a massive wall and I just can't break through at all, and I'm just getting picked off bit by bit.
Okay, so I want to attack him,
Yeah.
but I don't want to move.
If you move that position and press attack, then you'll move that position. Yeah, that's correct. So you move that, that's correct. And then you hover over.
him.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I did last time.
I think you just did the straight move and attack in the same movement, which is like a quick select. Oh. I need to rethink my whole strategy for this entire match now. It's become
Okay.
very clear to me.
What I don't. I wanted to tell you what my plan was, but I also don't want to tell you what my plan is. I want you to tell me there's a good plan.
Okay, we can.
So what my thinking was that I was gonna move Greenfinger around this way and then try and do a.
So you can't place it on the tile that another. You couldn't do it on the tile you're selecting right now because there's a unit on that. So
And
you
I can't do it here because of the.
You can do it on the mountain. You can do it on
Oh,
the
I can do
mountain.
it on the
Yes,
mountain.
but it will only go. It will only go one tile down because there's units in the way. So it will never. The vines will never overlap an existing unit
Because I wanted to kind of like block you in.
from both sides.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
You'd
and
have
then
to.
come around through the.
I don't think there's too much room to do that. You can't do that in one turn. You can maybe do that in 2 turns, but I might at this point.
And it's probably better to do it that way rather than that way because I can get more units around this bit anyway.
Yeah.
Because they can't all swim.
Well, yeah, your foot soldiers can't go in the sea
Whereas
there
they
at
can
all.
go here.
They can go in the river, yes.
Kill your dog.
Was it
This is a sad
Greenfinger's
game.
blind wall that messed up your strategy?
I'm not sure what my strategy was. My strategy has just been to like see what happens, but now it's very clear that it's actually quite a pickle I'm in.
You say quite a pickle, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Doesn't that make it worse for Jay?
Not to use strong language, but this is a kerfuffle.
Awful. Oh my god.
Very strong.
Do any of the Chucklefish team know how to speak any Japanese?
Squishy dicky mouse.
Nani? I think there's quite a few people who speak Japanese in like a hobbyist level, I think. I'm not sure.
Just chat whether we should use subtitles. Just gonna bait it
Subs or dubs.
in. Yeah.
Experience Wargroove in its original Japanese language settings.
Oh, for a minute I thought it was Koji. I was like, what?
And suddenly the
thought I
match
was
over.
in.
Now people are just typing in Japanese in the chat. What have you unleashed?
I actually don't know what I can't. I have no idea.
I don't want to send. So I could kill your last unit here
Yes.
with Greenfinger,
This is good.
but then I've got a Koji Greenfinger
Battle.
lineup going
You
on.
guys have got a lot of gold.
You have a lot.
You could
yeah.
bring out the big guns.
I still can't buy a warship though. I think I might buy my the green guard. Oh, ooh.
I I hope my investment in that warship
I
is paid
forgot
off.
about trebuchets.
Oh, hell yeah!
Trebuchets.
Trebuchet.
Trebuchet. Oh, I think I will.
You should go for it. I actually have no idea how this is gonna play out. These things worry me. These things alongside Greenfinger's like vine walls are gonna be crazy.
But I don't know whether or not I should kill your last unit and go beyond my wall or not. People are applauding your pun. Who wrote Trebuchet?
I did.
Was that you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay
Say
is the-
applauding. They use the hand in heads
No, that's applaud.
emoji.
They're holding the heads in their hands because they're
It was
stressing
too
out about
good.
how good it is. Yeah, yeah,
Too
you
good.
understand. I'm glad you
Yeah.
understand.
These guys can go under bridges, right?
Yeah. And so can boats.
Ah, yes. I feel so unsure about this, so I'm just gonna leave. Oh, no. Don't do another groove. Make it groovy.
Chat is begging you to destroy that last unit.
I know, but I didn't want to have him lined up next to each other. Sorry, chat.
Koji's gonna run away.
Koji runs away then.
You guys have like
Koji's
a full.
a
You
believer.
guys have like 50% of each side of the map right now. If Kelly was to deploy the vine wall like again, would it remove the existing one?
I don't think so.
Double vines.
Double vine.
Okay, so
Oi, oi, oi. Get back.
So you could like, you could totally like cut off the map with vines, because you can move through them. I think, right?
you can
They
move through
would-
them.
I
They
can
wouldn't
move
be
through
able
them.
to
Yeah.
move through
They
them.
do decay over time, but not a huge
They last
amount.
a long amount of time.
This one's about to
Oh,
die next
so
turn, I think.
if I deploy my groove, if I get groovy next turn,
Mhm.
and then shut
Get
you off
groovy.
if I shut you off again, then that kind of means you're gonna. Why haven't you attacked my mines?
Because of pushing them too far. You've got an archer to back you up. So anyone who gets here is going to be attacked by this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Actually, the more I look at it, the more I'm just going to be like, no, I'm just going to...
Don't be such a lame.
Can't help it.
Coward.
I must be lame. Oh, it's raining.
Rain. Okay. So if I use Wargroove here, it will just do it.
It depends. It will show you where you can... So you can only do it... You have to step
I
forward.
can
to do
move
it.
and do it.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I'd have to do it there because of.
And I'll place them there.
Nature's cry!
I'm coming for you.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I can rumble. This is very exciting actually. I'm having a lot of fun.
It's
Do you-
just such a small amount of damage though. It's like such slow impact.
You're just gaining ground, Katie,
Yes.
very slowly.
It was all part of the plan, Adam.
Do you guys
I
want to
haven't-
talk about the
like-
weather system? Because that's kind of new, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember what it was. Severe weather. So in this case, rain. Mages are buffed in it.
Yeah.
I think it slows down air units. Or does it speed up air? I should have looked at it again. I completely forgot.
It's changed a few times. So
It's changed a few times. Yeah, we've been playing around with what we can only do. There's a blog post on our website that tells you exactly what
What
to
if
do.
I was to go to the box post
You could
and remind
find
you?
out right now and inform me.
So we're working on some UI elements right now for the weather as well.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff.
So it won't be like a surprise when it rains.
If I move this unit here and your attack range is here, that you can still attack me when I'm sitting standing there. Isn't it? It's just because you can move to the tile here.
Yes.
You can still hit me. Okay. I will
It
take
shows anything you can attack with the hollow squares. Yeah.
I haven't even looked at your
Boy,
Son of Vampire as it was.
it's Tengu.
That's it. Something. Ah, he moves far. Oh, It's up here.
Oh,
Ah, floaty thing. There we go.
you think these guys are just Florans with wings? This is called Griffin. It's not actually Griffin. It was at a previous point. This is not animated right now, so that's a work in progress then. But the imaginatively named Floran Witch.
I'm just trying to think of what's effective against your.
So Harpies can attack other Harpies pretty well. Dragons can't attack them because dragons can only attack ground and I assume sea. Witches are really good against them, but we can't do much. All witches can do is attack air units.
Yeah.
So they're exclusively like an air combat unit.
So it's kind of like the leaf wings are the safer bet.
Yeah, they're kind of like an all-purpose air unit. They can attack ground and air.
Okay. How much money have we got?
490.
I think that'll do. Can you use everybody? Yeah.
I messed this up a lot over here, didn't I? Okay. I'm just gonna slowly lose ground over and over until eventually. No, that won't happen.
Just says more trebuchets.
I've only got 700. I will ideally buy another.
Oh, I didn't even notice that you had one. That's how much I've been paying attention to the other side
Okay.
of the map.
Rain will slow down sea units because I can't sail very far right now, which is inconvenient to me.
We should make a Yorick emote for the Twitch. That's not what chat said, that's just what I'm saying.
You're just throwing it a bit of personal.
But then we gotta do Pixel. And,
We have a lot of dogs, don't we?
That says, why build another unit if you can launch a 90-kilogram stone projectile over 300 meters?
They've raised a valid point. We should consider this, guys.
Those vines are still holding up. I love the music, the Heaven Song.
Well, it's not just
It's
Heaven Song,
Koji's
it's
one, isn't it?
Koji's track,
Yeah.
yeah. Each of the commanders have a unique
It's
track.
so beautiful.
Here we go. Standing on water.
Oh, yeah. That
Hit
sounds
first,
like
though.
cute as well. Oh, I forgot that it's range attack as well.
Yeah.
So my moving into that place was pointless anyway.
We'll see, we'll see.
Is Caesar based on any specific dog?
He's a Great Pyrenees breed. He's not based on any existing dog because there is no dog as majestic as Caesar.
This is true.
So it would be unreasonable to compare them, yeah.
Great Pyrenees are the mountain rescue dogs, aren't they?
Are they really?
I think so.
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
that's one
That
of
is
their,
quite majestic, actually. I think they're just a very good, like it's a very high quality animal. So,
high quality. What's a low quality animal?
Playing better animal.
a better animal again.
Don't you dare say
Termites?
chicken.
Chicken's mid tier,
What's the? Do dragonflies die after one day? Is it?
but they have dragon in their name, so we won't get into this again.
I mean. Okay. Such slow. Do you feel bad, like arrowing down a small child? Like I've kind of also blocked myself here. Can you come in? No.
Being trolls on it.
There's wackiness. There is wackiness afoot.
If only you could see.
Oh, they get critical. Something is causing them to get critical. I wonder what it is.
They've got a very cute sound effect. Who's saying about Ramsay Bolton? We don't want to be saying about that while playing Wargroove. is the range for the trebuchet?
If you press, so you can attack. Yeah, everything's highlighted, so you can't actually attack anything right now.
Maybe if I move.
Yeah, you can move closer.
One forward. I feel like my own vines are really causing a problem here.
It's getting like a huge kerfuffle over here now, isn't it?
It's actually quite a problem. I can't even get round to attack you. I'm gonna back up a bit. What, chat, have you got any suggestions to get over my double vine?
I'm saying this is why you weed your gardens, folks.
Yes,
Completely right.
it's true.
I'm gonna make a move and Rosie's gonna come in. And
Oh,
do
cool.
Sounds cool.
Alright. I hope you guys finish the match. And
See you.
I'm
Thank
not
you
gonna
very much.
pick any favorites.
I have no idea who's going to win at this point. It's really exciting.
Alright.
Say bye,
Guys, in a
Adam.
bit. Oh yeah.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Okay, I'm trying to decide if I should get a ballista or a trebuchet.
So Ballista is predominantly... Hello. So, sounds good. So Trebuchet attacks ground units and naval units. It is generally stronger. Ballista attacks ground units and air, but is better against air. It's like an anti-air ranged unit. If you're attacking me on the ground,
Air unit, though, and I've already got something to kind of hopefully counter that.
since we're colleagues, I think it's only fair that I tell you that the Trebuchet is probably the better choice in
Okay,
this
thank you.
case. This is what you wanted to hear.
Thank
What's
you
going to
for
help you
gui-
win?
Thank you for guiding me. Okay, I think I've moved everyone. There you go.
Okay.
Rosie, say hi. Introduce yourself.
Oh. Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Rosie. Which way can you see me?
Oh, this is, no, you're correct there. There's like a
Okay.
small space next to my
Oh
head.
yeah. Okay, cool.
I thought you
Hi.
were doing like the Vogue.
Yeah. I've worked on Starbound and
Chat's asking, do you have dogs, and what is your opinion on dogs?
yes, so Yorick is the dog that lives in my house. He's not my dog. He's my housemate's dog, Abby, who is over there somewhere. He's an artist.
Yeah, she's an artist here.
Yeah. There you go.
Koji's groove iPod is the sparrow.
And it's not ready yet, but it will. It's like one of these things we're talking about a lot, and hopefully will get shown off at some point.
If I don't kill you first.
Oh. Hopefully not, because I'm going to show everything off now. Let's see.
Chucklefish needs a weekly take your dogs to stream day. Yes.
Oh, that's very cute. That's a cute
We
thought.
should the other guys later.
Oh, this dog. Oh,
Oh,
I wonder. It's got 5 heads left.
surrounding my quagmire.
I have big plans.
But do you?
I have big plans.
This is a bluff.
Big plans.
There's like Kakaguri, it's actually just one big bluff.
I'm aware that that's an anime. I'm aware that's an anime. That's as far as it extends.
You should probably
And a Netflix original movie.
don't watch it.
The movie or the anime?
Any of it. I
Okay.
regretted watching it. I could tell from the like intro that it wasn't for me, but still watched it.
Yeah, they come for the game streams and they stay for the anime opinions.
You've got like 2 of the well, if Rodrigo was here, it'd be 3 of the weebiest people in the office sitting playing.
I hope he's watching. I got called out.
Is that your groove?
My groove is on. Yeah, I'm on fire. It's happening
Okay.
potentially.
No. Come on, Ballista. Trebuchet. Trebuchet.
So I'm not sure you can attack without. I think you can attack without.
I can move from
Soldier
here.
without. Yeah, you can move there if you wanted.
Try and get my quagmire out there. Oh no, he's kind of trapped.
He's quite trapped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front.
And he's not really can do enough to do anything. So I just might put him in a more defensive position.
He's still useful in getting in the way.
Ray, Rain says, the arch. Ooh.
Yay, that's good. That's a good reaction.
I want to do more damage, but I cannot.
Oh, that is a good move.
Because then your ballista attack will be... So, it's not ballista. Trebuchet attack will be less weakened.
That's true. Hmm.
But I am
Bamboos all
sacrificing
again.
my poor archer for this. Oh. Forgot you killed my boy. I kind of feel like there's no... Potentially for me there might be no point in getting my brawler out until you've gone through my line as like a defensive thing for my HQ.
Yeah, these guys are like really,
'Cause they're
really
slow.
powerful, and nothing really like chips away. They're quite slow.
Yeah. So I kind of think maybe... maybe I'll get my gun down. I like them because they can remove...
They are quite useful, and they have that really powerful
and they're
crit as
strong.
well. Yeah,
They're quite good at... I feel like chipping away at the commander.
that's true.
Normally is... Oh, I actually have forgotten about Green Thing altogether. Come here.
I bet his groove's almost done again. The cad.
There you go.
So now I've got a. This is a big turn for me.
Did I just see a Florin riding a Fluffalo?
You did indeed. Yeah, the Florin units have a lot of cameos, I would say. Oh boy, okay.
Emma is asking, will there be an option to turn off / limit the voice acting? You can turn off the...
Yeah, there's volume controls and
Sounds
stuff.
funny.
And you can also turn off battle animations, so it only shows for commanders or like not at all. So it's quite a lot of different options in that way. Okay. I've got a plan now. I've got a plan.
I think I saw someone earlier asking if you can speed up animations.
Have we talked about that? I'm not sure if it doesn't exist currently. We'll see if we still keep that as an option. I think we like that.
So much kappa going on.
Just like planned.
Oh,
No,
no, not time.
not time. This is time. I positioned them right next to the commander behind them, so when they moved into this slot, they were getting the buff from being next to a commander that was mentioned earlier.
I love how they just take some like last minute stabbing attempt that does nothing and be like, oh, you, how dare you kill my mates?
Okay, is this everything that I want to do? I think maybe.
Someone says I want to go to war with their Nobikins. I really have trapped like all my units in my fine nightmare. I feel like you're gonna kill me anyway. I can't really retreat from you. These guys can't do range, can they?
No. Oh.
code word for bad decision.
No, that's good. I forgot to do that. Oh no. I feel like I wasted this ballista. Not ballista. Trebuchet. Now look at it. It's nothing. It's scrap. What a waste.
Oh yeah, you're dead. I forgot. You're not well. Puppy.
You're not well. Poor boy.
I kind of wanted you to get out of the way so that I can bring in. I guess if I kind of like line them up behind each other, they're a bit safer.
Maybe.
How far can you move? Oh, I forgot about him.
Oh, they're quite good. Huh.
Come on, lovely.
Here he comes.
You're really encroaching. I could probably protect. Ah, it's the work, yeah. Turtles aren't that great against. What was that? Just.
No, they look great against everyone else.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Let's try a turtle out.
Yeah.
Let's just get one in.
Get the turks in.
Okay, I think that'll do.
Ooh, this is stressful. Got a long-term plan.
I'm glad someone's got a plan who's playing it.
A long time plan. Yeah.
Do you have a dragon?
Oh yeah, I got one of those.
Oh! I totally missed that. Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Well, we'll see. Because you have a lot more units than I do.
I only realised you had a dragon because I saw someone in the chat so. I really need to actually focus.
Okay, so what I need to figure out is... Okay. I do have a plan.
Ships can go under bridges, can't they?
Yes, they can.
Someone was saying that was annoying in other boxes.
That's true. It is.
Oh, the tingles descend.
There they come.
Let's go, Tenko! Yeah!
Oh, that was a cute voice line from him as well. Sorry about that.
I can imagine it was cute. Great move, actually. I've got 1 health. 2 health. No money.
Dragons are expensive.
This is true.
Expensive upkeep.
Cool.
Well, I still can't afford one. Because I haven't lost that one yet. I thought I did.
I think it's healing faster than I can damage it, which is not ideal for me.
I just don't know whether I should send my... Because you haven't... Oh, range attack. So slow. Let's get you out of the way.
might be enough to kill him because he's only got 2 health.
I mean...
Oh. The least amount of damage done to ever defeat you, maybe. Oh,
Oh, I can't attack you.
You can't attack the harpy because the harpy's in the air. Tengu. So you've kind of gone for numbers here, and I've kind of got some power units, but I haven't got the numbers.
But you've got a dragon and a warship.
Not universally useful.
I feel like I'm just putting that in harm's way, but oh well.
Your commander is behind so many walls now.
I know, I've really trapped him. It's an absolute pain.
Oh. What's going?
It's coming for you. Oh, but you're going down there. I need to stop you somehow. If I do that, then I'm not going to save up for my dragon. But then if I let you take my towns or port thingies, then you're going to probably... I'm never going to go there anyway. It's not really...
You can pull them back, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
I think people want you to drop your
I
groove.
know. There's time and place for everything. Not now.
It's not the time to get grooving. Auto mod blocked because it had the word arson. But someone said he has a giant ass boat and a big dragon, but is way outnumbered. This should be interesting.
And by interesting, you mean slowly worrying.
Blaster says, use groove.
Yeah, a lot of people telling you to use your groove because it's been charged for a while. Joey.
I know, I've... Okay.
You've just been sitting on
Activate Pharaoh Bombs!
There we go.
Oh, for that on time. Ah, okay. I haven't seen him in action before. Oh, that's so sad. You've got a cute team,
And...
Come say hi.
Hey, you wanna come say?
I don't know.
Doris is here. Oops, sorry.
No, no,
You come home.
Hello. Have a good weekend, everyone.
See you later.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
It was very cool.
Okay, I think I broke through a lot of your defenses there with that groove. And also did damage to your harpy because...
Yes, you did. Someone said, please tell me there's an Emperor's New Groove reference. Best.
There is not.
I wish there was.
I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, to be fair, I think Greenfinger is a scary tree. Like, in a way. Okay. I'm worried about him. And I don't know what to do about him. because my
Your
tree.
trebuchets can't attack it.
No.
Only ballista. That's the advantage of ballista over it.
See, you left that. I feel like you didn't mention that when I was thinking about making a ballista.
Oh, no. I said.
Oh, you did.
But ultimately,
It did,
trebuchets
yeah.
are much more advantageous against ground units.
Mm.
So
But. Oh, and you've got an Oni now.
yeah.
I mean, 25's pretty good.
It
And
is pretty
it's
good.
bringing him out into the thick of it. And
It's
your
true.
Oni is right there.
It's true. That is also a good point.
Great, okay. I might. Yeah, no, you've got 100%. What am I talking about? That's your.
You get the first hit, but I'm not entirely sure how much that gives you.
Yeah, but I'm only like nearly half.
Someone asks when the release date is. We're looking to release in the second half of the year. That's all we can really say. It's cooking in the oven.
Oh, this is really dead. I'm happy.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You crazy kids.
I don't wanna put him in harm's way. You're not gonna do anything for me.
Greenfield's got his groove as well now.
Yeah, but that's gonna be triple vine wall. I feel like any more vine walls, and I'm just gonna.
No, my strategy. I spent so long sending him round. It took one turn to kill him. This is the saddest thing. My master play was completely bamboozled. I've lost.
Turt's
I'm not going to be able to do the
coming.
same thing here. I'm just getting out of the water entirely.
Tatty boy is coming. No, I don't know if I should do it.
Oh, that's a good point. The vine walls are meant to die after they hit one, but they don't, so they're going to stay there for the entire game until I kill them. Which is not ideal for me.
Katie has a pretty big advantage.
You think? I feel like I've kind of trapped myself.
You have to waste your go.
Yeah,
attacking them,
yeah, absolutely.
So it is
Yeah,
quite
I
an
guess so.
advantage right now.
But I don't have any. I don't have any
I
answers
mean-
left.
Yeah, you trapped yourself as well.
Yeah.
So
But you can move through them freely, even though you can't step on the same spot. So it limits your mobility a little bit, but not as much as it limits mine.
I think I'm just gonna. Oh, but then your dragon is just gonna blitz my buffalo.
It's probable. It's probably going to happen. I'm not going to pretend
Maybe
it's
I
not.
should just take the risk and just get that.
Oh, that's a lot of damage, actually.
Okay. If I it doesn't buff him, does it, by putting another unit behind?
Hmm?
It doesn't. No. Thinking in Fire Emblem brain.
Can you make them go in a relationship and get married?
Yeah, I want
have
my
kids?
S-Link. Oh yeah, I was thinking about whether to use that or not. I could.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I might do that. Just, I know he hasn't got that much health anyway, and it's only a little
I
bit.
can't attack back, though. Dragons can't attack any
It's
units.
only a little bit, but at least it's slightly less damage that you're going to hit me with. Okay, alright, I've done umming and ahhing. I feel like I take double the length of time on my turns than you do.
Right, so I need to get rid of this. Hopefully this is enough. Going to keep it alive. Yep, it did. But now it's basically non-functioning. Get back here.
Oh, Ty's in chat.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna slap this guy.
Oh, it's his attack. It's amazing. Like, obviously I'm very sad that he just died, but it's such a cool attack animation. Oh, did you heal your commander?
Yeah. Costs a lot of money now, so I can't buy what I intended to buy, which was Ballista, but then I've kind of taken out your Leaf
That's
Wing
a
anyway.
shame because I feel like now I did definitely sacrifice.
You know what, I might get a samurai. This match has lasted a lot longer than I thought. We're really finding out how annoying those vines are, huh? I really did a lot of damage, even on low health. Oh, I should have factored that in. Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
How are you feeling, Jay?
This is exciting. I have no idea which way this is going to go. It keeps.
I think
backing
I
and
know
forward.
which way it's gonna go. Oh, forgot about this guy.
See, that prevents my dragon getting anywhere close to you.
Coming for you.
I forgot we had the dog footage on our screen, and then suddenly I just look back and look at this dog.
There's no real point attacking them.
This is a very unique match.
Yeah, I literally have no idea what to do with Greenfinger because I've put him in a very weird place.
What's really interesting is that Tenri's groove, if we'd gone for Tenri over Koji, because she moves units around, she can counteract the vines by moving units past them. Koji's groove doesn't help him too much against Greenfinger, I think. And it takes a while to charge.
Oh, hello you.
You can't get me on land.
I can't get
I've
you.
got you. Although you have like forced me out of the water at least.
I'm just gonna protect. Should probably. Taja's gonna attack warships, right?
Yep. Although they can't attack at range, and the warship has an advantageous range. Someone's asking if you can grind. It's not a stat-based RPG kind of game, so there's not much in terms of grinding. Yeah, the chat's got it covered.
I don't know what I'm doing. Things. How much health does that make up? I'm just gonna move. No more wild growth.
No more, please no.
I think I'm definitely being pushed back and unhappy now.
I don't know how to feel about this situation. Okay, so attack at a range, you can't count it. You can slowly whittle down. Not a huge amount, might take a few turns, but okay.
Yeah, if anyone's having stream audio or like visual issues, like, it's all running fine here. So maybe just refresh your browser or something.
Sounds like a plan.
It happens to the best of us.
I have a crazy plan, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
Ooh.
Attack this, which lets the dragon get through and attack
Ooh.
the ballista.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I've broken through there a bit. I'm finally taking on the vines. About time.
That was a good move.
I don't think there's much that can counter that right now.
Well, people are saying nice play.
Thank you, guys. And this is all about friendship and support. Okay, that was somewhat productive for me.
We're on turn 16.
Yeah, we've been playing for nearly 2 hours, you know.
Oh my god.
still do a little bit of damage, even though they're so weak, just because it's like such a counter.
I mean, I feel like you're gonna kill it anyway, so I'm just gonna at least damage it. Oh, I can't attack you with Green Figure.
Nope.
Yeah,
Strong.
you're not well.
You're not okay.
I do keep wasting my money though by reinforcing kind of like weak half decks.
I think it's really valuable, because otherwise to buy a new leaf wing, you have to send it all the way down the map.
Ah,
It's dog time.
It's dog
I
time.
voted. People want to see the dog again.
which dog? Oh, Yurik. I thought you meant like more doggo units.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he's just, you could go get him.
I'll go get him because he's just there.
He's just sitting outside, yeah. Well, he's there on the stream, we keep saying. He's there.
He's there
Watching
in
with
real
us.
life.
Yeah, yeah. I'm secretly very worried about some positioning right here.
Are you? I don't think you should be.
I think I might have some disadvantages. I'm not sure we can see him.
I'll pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is important.
This is a very serious and formal
Have
stream.
they mentioned if this game will be released on Switch? Yes,
Yes!
it will be.
Oh, here's a big one.
Ah, he's a puppy.
Can I get him closer? We're doing this.
Sure.
I don't want to say.
You do the hand. Just do the
Just
hand.
the hand. You don't want treats.
This is Abby the hand.
I
He's
am
so
just a
big
hand.
and heavy though. I have to put him down.
Okay.
I love.
Here he goes. Interlude.
Oh. Hungover Coda says this is the best Friday ever.
Ah,
It's
dearie me.
a pretty good day. We're feeling, I mean, obviously the week before E3 is a busy, crazy kind of time,
Yeah.
but
I mean, we're all going to be watching it, to be fair.
yes.
Wow, 1%, man.
But, oh, you're on your 5. Okay. Can he not? Oh, he can't. It's too slow for him to walk through.
He can walk through it like one tile at a time, probably.
Oh, slow
Slow boy.
game. You got units up there.
No, sadly
Got
not.
This one, that's better. To the sea!
I'm going to get in the sea now. I have a plan.
Do you?
Maybe. I don't know if I have the money for it.
You say that you have a plan. I've been pretending that the whole way.
I have a potentially wacky plan.
Very convincingly. I'm
Hello.
with you.
He's having
Peop-
lots of treats now.
People like the dog times.
He's good. We get him every day. He lives in my house.
Yeah, trees they slow down movement, don't they?
Yes,
When
I'll
go
give you
too
some
much
defense.
Yeah. It's the same as mountains, isn't
Yeah, that's like
It's
a more
like-
extreme version, yeah.
it? Loving doggo cam. Yes.
Battle stance activate!
Oh, that's not great. Shh.
No one
mentioned that.
No one saw. Ah, butts. Oh. You sneaky sneakster.
I've been sneaking around.
I need to do something. Because my HQ is right there.
from producing units, then that's good. How much fire guns doing? They're still 40%. Still a lot of charge.
Someone said, just don't mind spread the love and say I'm really excited for the final game.
Oh, great. That's nice of them. Thank you.
Thank you for something.
I attacked a turtle, I don't know if you noticed. Although the turtle is still encroaching on me fast. I will get encountered by the turtle. I don't know how much it's going to do against me. We'll just have to see how that plays out, I guess.
But Fire Emblem is a waifu seller.
Well, we've got
It is a waifu
got nice waifus and husbandos
Yes.
all across the board.
Who's your favourite Wargroove husbando?
It's got to be Caesar, right?
Caesar.
He's so majestic.
As a husbando?
Like, he can be my dog.
I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Not good. I mean, this isn't going to do much for me at this stage, but too little, too late.
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. You can't attack me with that guy, though. Because he's on the ground.
I know it's probably going to just kill me back. But...
No, it can't attack
can't
back.
attack back.
Yep. So you can still chip away at my...
I just want to make you less effective. Hey. It's not Katie's game to lose. Excuse me. I can't take you for that.
You've still got wild growth. It can still skip my plans somehow, I'm sure.
I don't know, because I want wild growth the other side that's protecting my HQ, and I want
I
that
see.
side.
Why not? So you can just go back and get the help.
I'm not very happy about this predicament.
This has been a really interesting match. It's really exciting seeing that wild growth with being able to place down several times. Someone asks how much longer is the stream? Well, we'll see how long this battle goes on for.
No. Keep forgetting that he has no, that he's useless. Just move over here. Really ruined this for myself by forgetting about my HQ. Your dragon can attack my commander, can it?
Yes. But it can't fly over things.
And I can't attack you with this anyway.
No. Someone says don't forget your turtle, which is a good point. You do have your turtle down there.
To attack the warship.
Ooh, yeah. So much damage. I've been spending the entire game sending that round.
Ooh. It's very sad sinking those turtles, isn't it? Okay. This is not good. Okay. I mean, I feel like you're gonna...
See, I'm not sure. There's a few issues right now.
Destroying that is bad for me. Very
It's true,
bad.
it's true.
Yeah, come on, fly somewhere else. Come on back over to the other side of your map. Then someone said, Yorick needs a Caesar costume for Halloween this year. I don't know if you saw our kind of like tweet that we did the other day of him in a little hat.
That was
I
very
mean,
cute.
was the most overt tease in the world. But. I love that.
Battle stance activate!
Yeah. I have to read it for some. Did lose a bit of money. Overall, I'm not as wealthy
think
as I
you're-
would like.
Doing bad though for like the amount of money that you have and how many times you've reinforced so much money.
Yeah. I just gotta see what this is. Because you've got some powerful units now. I haven't moved my dragon just yet.
Are you doing that thing like when people play Hearthstone and they have a card? Have you ever played Hearthstone?
I have not played Hearthstone.
Sometimes it's one of those things where you can have a card that can like it can devastate and like completely destroy, and the other player knows that you're gonna win, and you just kind of like play with your others just to be annoying and be like, "Ah, I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna postpone my win." That's a harsh thing to do.
That would be a hard thing to do.
The other person can control it though and be like, "No."
I do get counted for that. I did not expect that.
The Lorik cosplay is great. Lorik? I don't know where to that. You're
Yorick.
right.
Oh, the turtle's gone.
Oh.
Although he did take off like nearly half my health, and I've taken the entire 17 turn game to get them just round to that middle. I think that's me.
Okay. So you can attack my commander, but I
can.
can't attack you back.
This is true.
I have thrown myself into a corner alone.
Although you have one, you do have a tower next to you there, and you have some powerful units. You just bought a giant down there, right? If you were to buy a witch, that would basically give you one hit my dragon, but it can't do much else against ground units that much. The Leafwing will be able to attack the dragon without getting hit back, but I'm not sure it'll be able to defeat it
No.
straight away, but it still will chip away. So I'm not sure what the best decision here is.
I'm gonna just get it out so we've got one. But I'm a little bit worried about. When I say a little bit, I'm very, very worried about the Riga. I can think about it next. Oh, why did I never capture this? Or did you?
Oh, I've
say-
just knocked
I
it
was
out.
gonna
You can't capture with the heartbeat,
say.
unfortunately.
Oh my god, you got so slow boy scout.
So many choices.
But the dragon can fly through the vines?
No,
It can't.
I cannot.
Oh.
Don't think too hard about the logic about that, but it's fine.
So if I put him here and then did Wargroove across that way?
Yeah, you could knock it around. I mean, he can fly around them maybe, but it would place 4 vines there,
Oh, because of the
which
in the way. And if I put okay, if I use it there.
just like corner yourself in there. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay on the beach from now on. I'm done.
I might. Yeah, but it's kind of like still cornering me whatever I do. At least that puts it the right side, I guess. But then know Koji, who's coming.
But you can cross the vines and I can't.
I don't know what the best thing is to do.
I'm not entirely certain. Well, if someone's asking if there's plans for online versus, yep, we have online.
I don't think I like the idea of dropping myself up there, so I think I'm going to do it here.
Nature's cry!
There's
I know you
good old
can come
vines.
round in one turn though, because...
But then your witch is there, and the witch is probably going to one-hit the dragon.
It's like such like small amount of damage to bother with. Kind of feel like I should... I've taken a very long time to decide what to do here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a cerebral game with many decisions to be made. Oh no! No, my plans! I spent the entire game getting around there to take the. Oh no.
I also just wanted to use his attack animation. I just love how it's just like a slap.
Yeah, they all
Get
just
out.
like do a big slap.
Okay, is that all my units now? I've got an amazing amount of money. I don't know if you've noticed.
Oh, you do. Oh, so do I though. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So many choices to be made. It's so stressful. Right.
I hope I can fit.
Can he fit? No, he can't. Give me a KO. Ah.
I mean, they're as good as dead.
Unless you reinforce them. But I'm taking away a lot of spaces to reinforce. Good. I'm not entirely convinced. Because of the vines, you might have trapped me too close.
I don't know, I think you can quite stick around this.
I don't know how much damage I do. I only do 23. I'm not actually convinced that's worth the loss of the dragon. At the same time, I don't think there's anywhere I can go unless I go really far over here. And you've got a harpy down here. Although it is weekend.
How's things going, Rosie? Good?
It's going good.
Yeah. Rosie, who's your favourite commander?
It is hard because Sigrid's awesome.
She's best girl. Oh, you did decide to move there.
I don't know. Not really Sigrid.
I haven't tested out her groove yet.
Yeah.
It's going
I
through a
haven't
bunch of
seen it.
iterations, I think. Trying to get the right like vampirism power involved. Okay.
Yeah. Finn mentioned Sedge in the chat as well. Sedge is fun.
Sedge has an extremely cool groove. I mentioned it earlier when I was showing off all the grooves, but you can like put him in the right position and kill like 6 people in one turn. It's really cool. It kind of acts a little bit different from every other groove because it can refresh itself if it successfully kills a unit.
Yeah.
So if you're playing right, you only have to charge it once in the game. Oh. Yes!
Oh,
no.
no.
This is good. This is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Makes me so sad.
Is it nearly over?
I think it's coming towards, potentially coming towards the end. Not to... This is why the witch is a problem for me. Can't wait.
Oh, they sound very sad when they die. Can't be getting Wi-Fi on. But then I don't want to kind of leave here defenseless.
Oh no. I might have actually gotten too hasty. I'm not actually convinced I'm doing as well as I thought. Let's over there. That'll do it.
But I've got nothing to capture it with. So
Yeah, but I mean it
can't
prevents me from...
Ah, 6%. Yeah, I'm just worried about that.
Someone was asking earlier what the numbers on the buildings mean.
The numbers and everything is the health it has. If it doesn't have a number, it's at full health, it's at 100, and the rest of it is shorthand. So the dragon has a 5, so the dragon's total health is rounded within 5 to 50%.
Is that the dragon thing?
That's the harpy icon.
Hmm?
That's the harpy icon.
Oh, oh yeah.
These guys are big as dragons, which is a problem for me also.
And they capture, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every little helps.
I don't think it does. At least I can attack you from afar with my tiny
Knock off
belt.
that 1%.
Oh, I can't afford a trebuchet. Oh, I forgot about the U.
You can't attack air units though.
Okay, I don't really know what else I can do here, so...
Okay. Chat might be figuring out what I'm doing now.
Ah! That's bad. Ooh! That's like hard to watch.
Not gonna kill him this turn. There's a reason why I'm doing this.
I hope I can fit.
I think we should never change his the way he walks into the unit. As just an ongoing joke of him saying, "I hope I can fit." do crush me soon so that I can eat because I'm really hungry.
Yeah, it is quite late.
Double dragon.
Double dragon. Let's see how this goes.
Good game.
Good game. That's true. Yeah, that dragon's gone.
That's why you had to kill double dragon. Okay, let's sort green finger out because that's not good.
No.
They have range, right?
No.
They don't. Oh yeah, because he was trying to attack the building.
Yeah.
Engaging the idle stance.
That's probably it. Probably should have
lost a
saved
bit
it
of a chunk
for
there.
the dragon, but I thought I just
Oh my god, so close.
It's 45%, quite a lot.
Yeah.
But then you've still got this guy to hit me back with.
And the witch can't attack that guy at all.
But the thing is that your Oni is sitting on, like, he's got more
Defense.
defense there. You don't really do much. Forget it.
Just go for those tiny chip damages.
Oh, so those guys are quite good against golems, so maybe I should get
Breaking him down.
kind of want to. I feel like I had a lot of units, and now I've got not a lot of units. It's kind of okay.
Okay.
Oh, that still did a lot back. I wouldn't have thought it would have done that much. Did I just see the floaty thing in a menu? I mean,
Yes. Yes.
it's canon, right?
Do you think the gameplay because it's not,
Probably.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think so.
because it's not working
As it is right now.
exactly
No.
right. Yeah, I wonder.
Because I should have
Why not
withered
as
away,
well?
and I think you'd have been able to like push to my side quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this is like the longest game of Wargroove I've ever played. So
It's pretty long.
I'm actually really enjoying it though. I think it's my favourite game of Wargroove.
It's been tense.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in range. Check that. I'm playing hastily now because I'm really hungry.
Excuses. No, I feel the same.
Zero
0%.
percent.
Oh dear. So sad. Maybe I should just rage quit.
Well, I can't counter that. I mean, that's good. That's probably the move.
Is it?
Someone's suggesting that you probably could have just won, Katie.
Oh, don't say that.
On a commander rush with your golem.
I couldn't reach him.
No.
No,
Is that
I
right?
blocked him off with.
I couldn't reach him. I did think that. I was hoping that I'd be able to hit Koji because
But he was out
he's
of
quite
range.
low, but he was out of range.
Ah, so
I
annoying.
know. Although I'm quite proud that for once I realised that.
Someone else said take the village.
Can't reach it.
Yeah.
5%, I guess is better than no percent. It'll kill him. Probably. Your attack back, won't it? So,
Possibly?
let's try it. What have we got to lose?
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, okay. That was better than expected. Ooh, I've just noticed that your sparrow bombs.
Yeah, I think you just might have triggered that though.
Use it.
I mean, we'll see if I survive this turn.
Okay.
Should I get another? What are you weak to?
Giants, probably shadows happen.
Stabbers?
Maybe?
Stabby boys? I don't think we've used a stabby yet.
I don't think so.
I'm so like impressed that Yorick has been sitting so nicely this whole time. He's been a model dog. You're trying to hit my
Activate Sparrow Bombs! Ha-ha!
Ooh.
Boom, okay. Yeah, now we're talking.
No, don't do that. No. Do it the other way.
That wasn't the perfect one, but...
I was gonna say, why are you taking my vines?
It might have bought me some time. So which is basically useful.
You don't have any dragons left.
That's true. Never mind.
I mean, I literally didn't hurt you then. Ooh, we built up some money.
I did.
Someone asked if the explosions hit units diagonally.
No, just what's the word for that? Just
Like horizontal.
Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already dying. I might as well get some tree while it's going down. Green finger can reach.
No, he's just out of range.
Although I do have some more wild growth.
No. You'll be here
You'll beat me
forever.
because you'll starve me to death.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Nature's cry!
I wish for the sweet release of death. I'm never leaving. Oh no.
Ow!
Why are you so dead? Sloppy boy, help me out. Need some mums.
Ah.
Keep getting this one is like.
Go for it, go for it.
Okay, I've got 600. Get another. I kind of want to save up for something better though. I think I could kind of save up in another turn if I survive long enough. I can't capture it with Happy Hammer.
No.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Being maybe just.
It's so late. I might have to go.
Oh, look. Our demo ended.
Oh no! The game
Oh
had
my
the same idea. I'm done.
I forgot we were on demo mode.
Ah, that's
That
so
was
funny.
extended very far, but maybe it was only extended to like 2 hours and we just
Maybe
ran out.
It was the 2-hour mark.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
really anticlimactic.
I'm so sorry. I think we can all agree though, Green Finger would have won.
I think so. I think those vines not decaying means that you just create
Oh.
obstacles in their map for the whole game. That
In
was
a
really
way,
good.
I'm quite pleased because I feel like
We're
I won, I
all
would have
winners.
died. We're all winners here, and I had a really good I had a really good game.
The real Wargroove was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, rematch. Yeah, starting off 2 hour stream. Go.
It was 2 hours 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was good though, guys.
GG.
GG.
Oh, that was really
Like
fun.
and subscribe. We had fun. We had fun.
Oh, I'm gonna take this off because my ears, such pain. But I had a great time listening to the Heavens on music.
Yeah, I had a
Oh,
good
the Cajun
time
music.
answering questions and
Is there
interacting
any
with
more
our chat.
final
Last minute.
questions
Yeah,
before we
last
go?
minute. Let's go. Go. Hit us.
Yes. An enemy says join the Discord. Please do.
We have-
We're on it like all the time.
Literally, if you ask us anything that is good, we'll answer it. We should
Rosie,
probably.
can you post the Discord link?
Yes.
Cool.
I think
You go on my
I think
Discord, you can do
you
an
did.
instant invite there.
I
I don't think anybody else can post links. I've blocked it, I think, from the chat.
This is the demo we have at E3. So,
Huh? Oh, I think he's got powers though.
on the off chance that you're attending E3, are public even allowed? How does that work?
Hmm?
Do the public attend E3?
Yes, it is
Okay.
a public show now. It's only for the past. Last year was the first year to be
Okay.
public, so this will be the second year.
So this is the demo that is playable at E3 if you
It's-
want to go and play.
In the ID at Xbox booth.
Yeah.
So,
Go and play Wargroove, and then you can't play for 2 hours
hmm.
because other people need to play. But you can have a go. That'd be nice.
Yeah, don't play for 2 hours. I'm sure someone will kick you off.
Does it release soon? It releases in the second half of the year.
Someone
Hopefully.
quoted that too.
Commander voice actors. We're going to announce those when we're ready to. Do units have ammunition? Currently not. When does the Yorick DLC release?
Soon.
Soon TM.
Soon. He's been such a good boy.
He has been. He's
Please
just
do
been
follow
looking
him
for hours.
at Good Boy Yorick.
Can we see the dog army? No. 24-hour stream? No.
I'd like to just no.
No.
you
No.
can't see the
It's
dog
just
army.
breaking it down to like yes and no questions.
Mm.
Who's your favorite commander?
You said
I think
Sigrid.
Ragnar or Sigrid. I think maybe Sigrid.
I just think Valda. I really like Valda.
In terms of playing, I think Sedge is maybe one of the first ones.
I haven't actually tried Sedge with Groove yet, so I'm excited to do that. Yeah, there's the Discord link.
Should we call it? I think so. I think we're good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna try and
no
do
one
this more
won.
regularly.
That's okay. Yeah, I think so. We've been very busy this year, so we haven't been able to stream.
But as we close into like the second half of the year release kind of times, I'm sure we'll be doing.
We can have smaller maps that we can play that will last less time. We can show off some of the commanders that were there that are complete. Yeah, this has been fun. I hope you guys all enjoy your weekends. I assume that you guys will all be watching E3 starting on Saturday.
What are you excited for?
Nintendo.
Yeah, of course.
Tuesday. For us.
Smash stream.
Yeah, here's hoping.
I'm actually excited for Sony. I know I'm like one of the only people who is.
That's at like 2 a.m. So you have to stay up for that one over here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I will. I just want to see more of Ghost of Tsushima. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Great.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
soon.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Beep boop.
Bye. Bye, Rosie.